The reek of desperation clings to our little hovel like damp rot. It is the scent of my father, a once proud beta, now a ghost who haunts the edges of the Blackwood pack. He smells of stale liquor, regret, and the cloying sweetness of the dream leaf he chews to forget the fortune he gambled away. Our fortune, my future. I live in the shadow of his shame, a wolfless girl on the fringes of a society that prizes strength above all. Here, to be wolfless is to be less than whole, a faulty cog in the great machine of the pack. To be the wolfless daughter of a disgrace is to be invisible. I scrub floors at the pack house, my head bowed, my presence tolerated only because the alpha is a man who values tradition, and my lineage, however tarnished, was once noble. The other she-wolves my age are courting, their scents blooming with the promise of their first heat, their laughter echoing in the halls I mop. They look through me, their eyes sliding past as if I am a piece of furniture. Their wolves, boisterous and proud, do not even register my presence. I have no wolf to register, no inner beast to call to theirs. There is only me, Ilara, a girl of 19 who feels 100. The only scent I carry is the lye soap on my hands and the faint, ever-present odor of my father's sorrow. I have learned to make myself small, to expect nothing. Hope is a dangerous currency, one I can no longer afford. Today, the air is different. It is not just the usual tension that follows my father's latest losing streak. This is something sharper, a current of fear that crackles through the entire pack. Even the birds in the ancient oaks seem to have fallen silent. King Kalen is coming, the alpha of all alphas, the ruler of the Western Territories, is making a personal visit to our provincial pack to settle a debt. My father's debt. A debt so vast it could swallow our small pack whole. Rumor says my father, in a fit of drunken bravado, wagered his loyalty, his service, his very bloodline against the king's prize stallion and lost. A king does not travel for a handful of silver coins. He travels for a pound of flesh. I am scrubbing the great hall's flagstones when he arrives. The heavy oak doors swing open, and the world seems to dim, all light and air sucked toward the figures framed in the doorway. He is taller than I imagined, broader. His presence is a physical weight, pressing down on my lungs, making it hard to breathe. He moves with a liquid grace that belies his size, a predator in his own court. His scent floods the room, overwhelming everything. It is sharp and cold, like the first frost of winter, laced with the clean, dominant scent of pine and something else. Something ancient and powerful, like stone and sky. It is the scent of absolute authority. My own pack's alpha, a respectable but unremarkable wolf, bows so low his forehead nearly touches the floor. Your Majesty, he rasps, his voice tight with submission. King Kalen's eyes, the color of chips of ice, sweep the hall. They are dismissive, assessing, the eyes of a man who owns everything he sees. He does not even glance at me, a kneeling servant girl with a bucket of dirty water. His gaze lands on my father, who stands shivering by the hearth, his face the color of old parchment. Orin, the king's voice is a low rumble, a growl wrapped in velvet. It vibrates through the stone floor, up through my knees. The debt is due. My father flinches. Your Majesty, I can procure the funds. I just need more time. A cold smile touches the king's lips. It does not reach his eyes. Time has run out. The terms were clear. Your honor was the wager. Since you have none left to give, the debt falls to your bloodline, your only asset. His gaze, cold and sharp as a shard of glass, finally falls on me. For the first time in my life, I am not invisible. I am seen, and it is terrifying. He gestures with one gloved hand. Bring her. Two of his royal guard, massive wolves in human form, pull me to my feet. My knees tremble. The rough wool of my dress scratches against my skin. They drag me to the center of the hall and force me to stand before the king, before the entire assembled pack, before my father, who cannot meet my eyes. My heart hammers against my ribs, a frantic bird trapped in a cage. This is it. This is the pound of flesh. An archaic practice, the king murmurs, circling me slowly, his gaze clinical, as if he were inspecting livestock. But for debts of honor, fitting. He is speaking of the honor auction, a shaming ritual not used in centuries, where a debtor's family is sold to cover their losses. It is the ultimate humiliation. I am not a person. I am chattel, a coin to be paid. A wave of nausea rolls through me. He stops in front of me, so close I can feel the heat radiating from his body. The cold air around him is a lie. He burns like a furnace. He reaches out and tilts my chin up with a single finger. The touch is electric, a jolt of lightning that races down my spine. My breath catches. My world narrows to the space between us, to the chilling blue of his eyes. And then it happens. The scent. It is not his scent of pine and frost anymore, not entirely. It deepens, changes, unfurls like a hidden bloom. Beneath the power and the cold, another note rises. Something meant only for me. It smells like a hidden forest spring, like damp earth and the promise of safety. It is a scent that calls to the deepest, most dormant part of my soul. It screams a single, impossible word. Mate. My entire being ignites. A tidal wave of feeling, of recognition so profound, it steals the air from my lungs, crashes over me. It is a feeling of coming home, to a place I have never been. Every cell in my body sings with it. Hope, fierce and blinding, explodes in my chest. A king, the alpha of alphas. The fates have not forgotten me. They have not made me a wolfless nobody. They have made me his. A dizzying, terrifying joy makes me want to laugh, to weep. I stare up at him, my heart in my eyes, waiting for the same recognition to dawn on his face. It does. I see it. His eyes widen, the icy blue turning dark, the pupils blown wide. His nostrils flare as he draws in my scent, a scent I never knew I had. It must be faint, a mere whisper of rain and wildflowers, but he smells it. I feel the invisible cord of the mate bond snap taut between us, a living, breathing thing. His wolf, I can feel it, rises to the surface, a colossal primal force that wants to claim, to protect. Mine, a voice that is not his but is part of him, seems to echo in the space between our souls. For a glorious, breathtaking second, the world holds its breath. He is my mate. I am his. This humiliation will be erased. He will lift me up, claim me before all, and my life of shame will be over. But then I see the battle in his eyes. The primal shock gives way to something else. Calculation, logic. His human mind wrestles with the raw instinct of his beast. I can almost hear his thoughts. Her? The daughter of a degenerate? A wolfless whelp with no status, no power. My Luna? The political implications flash across his face. The whispers of his court, the sneers of rival alphas, the weakness of tying himself to a disgraced bloodline. His jaw tightens, a muscle feathering along his cheek. The brief warmth in his eyes vanishes, replaced by a glacier. The bond between us, so new and vibrant, begins to tremble with cold. A knot of dread forms in my stomach. No, I plead silently. Don't, please. He takes a step back, breaking the spell, severing the connection of our touch. The air rushes back into the room, cold and hostile. He looks at me, but he's not looking at his mate. He is looking at a problem to be disposed of. His face becomes a mask of regal indifference, but I can feel his inner wolf clawing at him, howling in protest. He shoves the beast down, bearing it under a mountain of duty and pride. He turns to the assembled crowd, his voice ringing with chilling finality. Every word is a hammer blow, striking the delicate structure of the bond, cracking it. I, King Kalen of the Western Territories, he proclaims, his voice devoid of all emotion, reject this bond. A collective gasp ripples through the hall. The words don't just hang in the air, they slam into me with physical force. A pain, unlike anything I have ever known, rips through my chest, a spiritual tearing. It feels as if my soul is being flayed from my bones. The vibrant cord between us does not just break, it shatters into a million pieces of ice, each one embedding itself in my heart. The hope that had bloomed so brightly just moments before withers and dies, turning to ash in my mouth. I stagger, a strangled cry escaping my lips. The world tunnels, the edges of my vision going dark. The scent of a safe forest spring is gone, replaced by the smell of ozone and heartbreak. He does not look at me. He cannot. He continues as if he has not just murdered something sacred, but the debt remains. His voice is stone. Her father's disgrace is not hers, but his debt is. I will not have her for my pack. He looks over the crowd, his eyes landing on a hulking man near the back. A brute I recognize as Grohl, a mining baron from the lawless borderlands. Grohl is known for his cruelty and his business of buying indentured workers. Baron Grohl, the king says, Oren's debt is 3,000 sovereigns. I will transfer the debt to you. She is yours to cover it. Take her. It is a fate worse than death. Not only rejected, not only humiliated, but sold like a sack of grain to a monster. The last vestiges of my strength crumble. The room spins and my knees finally give way. I fall to the cold stone floor, the sound of Grohl's pleased grunt echoing in the darkness that swallows me whole. My last conscious thought is of Kalen's scent, now tainted forever with the stench of betrayal. He did not just exile me from his life, he cast me into hell. The journey north is a blur of misery. I am chained in the back of a rattling cart, the iron cuffs rubbing my wrists raw. Baron Grohl and his men are coarse and cruel. They look at me with greedy eyes, seeing only a commodity, a body to be worked until it breaks. The pain of the shattered bond is a constant physical ache in my chest, a cold, dead weight that makes every breath an effort. It is a hollow where a piece of my soul used to be. At night, when the cold seeps into my bones, the agony is sharpest. I can feel him, a distant phantom ache, and I know he feels this too. The bond, though rejected, is not gone. It is a festering wound, poisoning us both. We travel for weeks, heading toward the bleak, untamed mountains of the borderlands. One evening, as we make camp in a rocky ravine, I stare at my reflection in a puddle of muddy water. A gaunt face stares back, all sharp angles and shadowed eyes. The girl I was is gone. The hope she held is dead. There is nothing left. The thought of arriving at Grohl's mines, of a life of brutal servitude ending in a shallow, unmarked grave, is a suffocating certainty. I could just stop. I could refuse to eat, let the cold take me, fade away into nothing. But as I gaze at that broken reflection, something flickers deep within me, a tiny, defiant spark in the vast emptiness. It is not hope. It is colder than that. It is rage, a pure, clean fury at Kalen for his cruelty, at my father for his weakness, at the fates for their sick joke. They would not have the satisfaction of my surrender. I would not let them win. Not like this, a thought whispers, sharp and clear. It does not feel like my own thought. It feels older, stronger. A promise. I will not die in chains. I will live, if only to spite the man who threw me away. That night, for the first time since the rejection, I make a choice. I choose to survive. 3 months later, my chance comes. We are ambushed. Figures clad in dark furs and leather descend on our convoy, moving with the swift, silent deadliness of ghosts. Grohl's men are merchants, not warriors, and they fall quickly. A fierce battle erupts, the clash of steel and the snarls of wolves filling the air. In the chaos, an arrow shatters the lock on my cage. I scramble out, my heart pounding. I am caught between two brutal forces, but the attackers ignore me. Their focus is on the cargo, the supplies Grohl was hauling. I run. I flee into the dense, snow-laden forest, my bare feet stumbling over frozen roots. I run until my lungs burn and my legs give out, collapsing into a snowdrift. I expect to be followed, to be captured again. But no one comes. I am alone, freezing, and for the first time in my life, utterly, terrifyingly free. I survive for days on nothing but melted snow and a grim determination. I am on the verge of succumbing to the cold when a hunting party finds me. They are from the group that raided the convoy, a pack of outcasts and exiles who call the northern wilderness home. Their alpha is a man named Liam. He is not like the alphas I have known. There is no arrogance in him, only a quiet strength and world-weary eyes. He sees the raw iron marks on my wrists, the haunted look on my face, and offers me a choice. You can join us, he says, his voice gentle. We are all runaways and strays here. All we ask is that you pull your own weight. I have nothing to lose. I accept. The next 2 years are the hardest of my life and the most transformative. The free northern clans, as they call themselves, live a harsh existence. Winter is brutal, food is scarce, and rival clans or monstrous creatures from the deep woods are a constant threat. There is no room for weakness here. You learn to fight or you die. You learn to hunt or you starve. You learn to endure or you break. I do not break. The cold fury that sparked to life in the back of Grohl's cart becomes my furnace. I throw myself into training. I learn to wield a blade, to draw a bow, to track a deer for days through the snow. The pampered girl who scrubbed floors is buried under layers of muscle and scars. My hands, once soft, are now calloused. My body, once frail, is now a weapon. I learned to listen to the wind, to read the snow, to smell a predator long before I see it. My senses, dormant for so long, awaken with a startling clarity. I am no longer wolfless Ilara. I am a warrior of the North. Liam becomes my mentor, my friend. He teaches me, trusts me, and for the first time since my father's fall from grace, I feel a sense of belonging. The power comes unexpectedly. We are on a patrol near the Shadow Crest Mountains, a place whispered to be cursed. We are tracking a pack of strange creatures, things of nightmare that seem woven from darkness and move with a chilling silence. They are not wolves, not bears, something other. They have been preying on lone hunters, leaving behind husks drained of life. We call them the Shadow Weavers. They ambush us near a frozen waterfall. They are faster and stronger than we anticipated. They swarm us, their claws dripping with a black ichor that seems to drink the light. Our warriors fall, their cries cut short. Liam is cornered, fighting desperately against two of them. Another lunges for me, its featureless face a vortex of shadow. Its claws rake across my arm, and a pain that is not just physical but spiritual floods me. It is draining my life force, the cold emptiness of its being leaching the warmth from my soul. Fear gives way to that familiar cold rage, but this time, it is different. It is not just my own anger, it is something bigger, something ancient and colossal stirring in the depths of my being. The part of me that whispered, "Not like this now," roars. A dam inside me breaks, and a torrent of raw power floods every inch of my body. A blinding, silver light erupts from me. The pain is immense, a feeling of being torn apart and remade. My bones shift, my muscles stretch. A howl tears from my throat, but it is not a human sound. It is the howl of a beast I never knew I possessed. When my vision clears, I am no longer on 2 feet. I am on 4 paws. The world is a symphony of scent and sound. I am huge, towering over the other wolves. My fur the color of pure, fresh fallen snow under a full moon. A massive silver wolf. A lichen. The shadow weaver before me screeches, recoiling from the pure light emanating from my form. My wolf, my true self, does not hesitate. "Mine to protect," she growls in my mind, a voice both new and ancient. She lunges, her jaws closing around the creature of shadow. There is no blood, only a shriek of dissolving darkness and a puff of black dust. The other creatures turn their attention to me, sensing the greater threat, the greater light. They are a tide of darkness, and I am the moon pulling it apart. I move through them like a reaping blade, a whirlwind of silver fur and righteous fury. My lichen self does not just kill them, she unmakes them, her inherent light a poison to their shadow essence. When the last one dissolves into nothing, silence falls over the clearing. My pack brothers and sisters stare at me, their wolves bowing their heads in instinctual submission. Liam approaches slowly, his face a mixture of awe and disbelief. I feel the transformation receding, the immense power pulling back, and I collapse, shifting back into my human form, naked and shaking in the snow. Liam wraps his own cloak around me. "Alara," he whispers, his voice filled with reverence. "What are you?" "I don't know," I breathe, but in my heart, I do. I am not wolfless. I was never broken. I am a lichen, a creature of legend, a lineage thought to have been wiped out centuries ago. My power was not absent. It was dormant, locked away, waiting for a key. Kalen's rejection, the pain, the hardship, it had not been a curse. It had been the crucible that forged the key. My transformation changes everything. News of the Silver Wolf of the North spreads through the scattered clans. They see me not just as a warrior, but as a symbol of power, a sign from the fates. The outcasts and exiles, long divided, begin to rally to our banner. Our small settlement grows into a fortified stronghold, a beacon in the wilderness. Liam, ever pragmatic and wise, sees the truth. My power is a foundation upon which a nation can be built. One evening, before the entire assembled council of the free northern clans, he removes the iron circlet of command from his own head. "I have led you as best I can," he announces, his voice steady. "But a new age is upon us, A power has risen among us that we have not seen in 1,000 years. It is not my place to lead you any longer. He walks to me, kneels, and offers the circlet. Alpha Ilara, Queen of the North. I hesitate, but I see the hope in the faces of these people. My people. They are the broken, the discarded, the forgotten, just like me. I take the circlet. It is cold and heavy in my hand. As I place it on my brow, I am no longer Ilara the exile. I am a ruler, a queen of a new kingdom, forged in ice and shadow, built on the very edge of the world that cast me out. And from my frozen throne, I look south, toward the lands of the man who thought me worthless. And I wonder if he can feel me now. My wolf is a beast of fury and regret. She paces the cage of my ribs, her claws shredding my insides, her constant maddening howl a litany of my failure. Mate. Ours. Wounded. You hurt her. You threw her away. Find her. For 2 years, this has been my penance. My kingdom flourishes. My armies are strong. My treasury is full. I am King Kalen, the pinnacle of power, and I am the most miserable creature alive. Sleep is a stranger to me. When it does come, it brings nightmares. I see her face at the auction, the brilliant, impossible hope in her eyes turning to shattered despair. I feel the bond crack. I hear my own damning words over and over. I reject this bond. Folly, arrogance, the greatest mistake of my life, and I am chained to it for eternity. Food is tasteless, wine like vinegar. The scents of the courtly she-wolves who tried to catch my eye are cloying, repulsive. They smell of ambition and perfume, not of wildflowers and rain. My father, the former king, and my council press me to choose a mate, to sire an heir, and secure the throne. They present me with suitable candidates, Alpha's daughters with powerful bloodlines and impeccable pedigrees. My wolf recoils from them all with a vicious snarl. There is only one, the one I discarded, the one I sold. I sent spies to find her, of course. A quiet inquiry, cloaked in secrecy. The report came back 6 months after her exile. Baron Grohl's convoy was attacked by northern marauders. No survivors. She was presumed dead. The news did not sever the aching bond. It twisted the phantom limb into a new shape of agony. Not only did I reject her, I sent her to her death. The guilt is a physical weight, a shroud I cannot shrug off. My wolf blames me. I blame me. I am a king ruling a kingdom of ashes. My throne, a monument to my own cowardice. I was afraid. Afraid of the intensity of the bond, of a power in her I could not explain, of the political suicide of mating a disgraced, wolfless girl. I chose my crown over my soul. And now, I have neither. My scouts bring disturbing news from the northern border. Entire villages have gone silent. Patrols sent to investigate do not return. The few who make it back speak of creatures made of shadow, of a creeping darkness that drains the life from all it touches. They bring the bodies of the victims, desiccated husks covered in a fine black dust, the shadow weavers, legends my father dismissed as fairy tales. They are real, and they are moving south. The reports say the attacks originate deep in the lawless territories, the domain of exiles and outcasts. But lately, the scattered clans have been unifying. A new leader has risen, a so-called Wolf Queen, who commands a formidable army and supposedly wields a strange power. They say she rides a colossal silver wolf, a beast out of the old legends. My council advises a show of force to crush this upstart queen and secure the border before dealing with the shadow creatures. But my instinct, the one I so foolishly ignored 2 years ago, tells me this is connected. I must see this wolf queen for myself. I must understand the threat, and so I ride north, into the land where I sent my mate to die. Back in my stronghold, Liam has become my anchor. He is my beta, my most trusted advisor, my friend. He is the calm harbor to my stormy sea. He knows my story, knows the ache of the broken bond I carry. He has never pushed, never demanded more than I can give. He is patient and kind. Everything Kaelin was not. One evening, as we stand on the battlements watching the aurora paint the sky, he turns to me. "You are not just their queen, Elara," he says softly. "You are their hope. You have given them a home. You deserve one too." He gently touches my cheek, his thumb tracing the line of my jaw. His scent is familiar and comforting, like warm bread and worn leather. He leans in and kisses me. The kiss is gentle, warm, and full of honest affection. It is safe. A part of me, the part that craves peace, leans into it. This could be a life, a good life, with a good man. But there is no fire, no lightning. The deep, soul-shaking recognition that I felt with Kaelin is absent. My heart, the traitorous organ, remains cold and still. The shattered bond, a constant source of pain, does not react. It is a dead thing, and this gentle kiss cannot resurrect it. I pull away, a wave of guilt washing over me. "Liam, He smiles, a sad, knowing expression in his eyes. "It's all right, I know. He may have broken your heart, but he still holds it." He looks out at the northern horizon. "I just want you to be happy, Elara, whoever that's with." His goodness is a sharp contrast to the memory of Kaelin's cruelty, and it makes my own conflicted heart ache even more. I am worthy of this kindness, this simple, uncomplicated affection, but it is not what my soul or my wolf craves. The broken bond is a chain, but it is a chain that connects me to my other half, and I am not yet strong enough, or perhaps willing enough, to break it. A few weeks later, our scouts report a large, organized party moving toward our territory from the south. They fly the royal standard of the Western Territories, the banner of King Kaelin. My blood runs cold. 100 different emotions war within me: rage, fear, a bitter, vindictive satisfaction, and beneath it all, a tremor of that old, stubborn longing. My wolf, a constant, powerful presence within me, now stirs. "Mate." He comes. Her voice is a low growl, vibrating with possessive fury and a deep, aching hurt. I stand on the highest battlement of my fortress, the cold wind whipping my dark cloak around me. The iron circlet on my brow feels heavier than usual. I watch as his party approaches, a line of disciplined soldiers led by a figure on a massive black warhorse. Even from this distance, his presence is unmistakable. A king, my betrayer, my mate. He halts his men at the edge of the forest, coming forward with only his 2 royal guards. He dismounts, his eyes scanning the fortress walls until they find me. The distance melts away. The moment our gazes lock, the world falls silent. The bond, the shattered, dormant thing inside me, erupts. It is not a gentle stirring. It is a violent explosion of sensation. The phantom ache I have lived with for 2 years becomes a searing, white-hot agony, followed by a tidal wave of pure, undiluted longing that nearly buckles my knees. It is 1,000 times more intense than the first time. Then, it was a spark. Now, after years of starvation, it is an inferno. My scent, the wildflowers and rain he once ignored, must be a storm to him now, amplified by my lichen nature. Because his scent hits me like a physical blow across the distance, pine and frost, and that deep, soul-shaking scent of a hidden spring, now laced with a desperate, raw hunger. My wolf roars in my head, a mirror of my own turmoil. Mate, hurt us! Claim him. Make him suffer. My hands clench into fists at my sides, my nails digging into my palms. I force my face into a mask of cold, regal indifference, pouring every ounce of my newfound control into holding myself still, into not letting him see that he has just ripped open a wound I had only pretended was healed. He is coming here for an alliance. He is coming to beg for help from the mysterious Wolf Queen. He has no idea that the queen he seeks is the girl he sold for the price of a debt. The irony is so bitter, it tastes like blood. I will grant him an audience. I will let him enter my court, and I will make him see exactly what he threw away. I am no longer a girl to be auctioned. I am a queen, and he will kneel. He enters my great hall, the same hall where I once scrubbed the floors in his kingdom. Here, the floors are rough-hewn timber, the walls draped in furs instead of tapestries. A fire roars in the central hearth. My warriors, the outcasts and exiles he would have dismissed as rabble, line the hall, their eyes hard, their loyalty to me absolute. I sit on my throne, a chair carved from the bones of a great northern beast, my silver wolf, my true self, a tangible pressure of power at my back. Kalen stops at the foot of my throne. He looks different. The arrogance is still there, but it is brittle. There are shadows under his eyes that were not there before. The 2 years have not been kind to him. I can smell his suffering, the sour scent of sleepless nights, and the constant grating pain of the broken bond. It gives me a grim, cold satisfaction. His eyes are locked on me, and I see the exact moment recognition dawns. The shock that hits him is a physical thing. He staggers back a step, his face paling. The king's composure, his legendary control, shatters. Alara? He breathes, the name a ghost on his lips. It is a question, an accusation, a prayer. I give him a slow, cold smile. It does not reach my eyes. You may have known me by that name once, I say, my voice as crisp and cold as the northern wind. Here, I am the alpha of the Free Clans. You will address me as such, King Kalen? I put a slight mocking emphasis on his title. The blow lands. I feel his shock, his disbelief, his dawning horror through the turbulent bond. This is my revenge, served cold. He, the mighty king, has come to beg for an alliance from the woman he discarded like trash. The power dynamic has been utterly, beautifully inverted. To what do we owe the honor of your visit? I ask, my tone laced with ice. He struggles to regain his composure. The war within him is plain to see. His wolf is screaming, clawing to get out, to bridge the distance, to fall at my feet. Mate, whole, found. The desperate cry echoes in my own soul, and I have to fight to keep my wolf from answering. His human mind, the king, is reeling, trying to process the impossible. There is a threat, he finally manages, his voice strained. Creatures of shadow, moving south from these lands. My kingdom is in danger. I came to propose an alliance with the Wolf Queen. An alliance? I arch an eyebrow. You come to my lands, to my fortress, to ask for my help? The great King Kalen needs the aid of a band of outcasts? Just then, Liam steps forward, taking his customary place at my side. He places a steadying hand on the arm of my throne, a simple gesture of support and familiarity. Kalen's eyes dart to Liam, then to his hand on my throne, and a fresh wave of raw, primitive jealousy slams through the bond. The scent of it is sharp and bitter, like burnt pine. It is the most satisfying thing I have felt in 2 years. They are a threat to us all, Kalen says, his voice a low growl, his gaze fixed on Liam's hand. They have been a threat to us for years, I counter coldly. We have been fighting them, dying to contain them, while you sat on your golden throne, ignorant. Why should we now spill more of our blood to protect your comfortable kingdom? Every word is a twist of the knife, and I relish the pain I see in his eyes. This is the beginning of his atonement. He will not get my forgiveness with a few simple words. He will have to bleed for it, just as I have bled. The negotiations will be long, and they will be on my terms. Our forced alliance will be his cage, a constant torturous reminder of the queen he could have had, and the power he so arrogantly cast aside. The War Council is a new form of exquisite torture for us both. We are forced into the same room for hours each day. A long table, the only thing separating us. The air crackles with the energy of our bond, a high voltage current of longing, anger, and regret. My warriors and his royal guard watch us, sensing the tension but not understanding its source. To them, it is merely the friction between two proud, wary rulers. To us, it is a private war. I am all business, cold, efficient, and utterly ruthless in my negotiations. I demand supplies, weapons, territory concessions. I strip him of his advantages piece by piece, and he agrees to every term. His desperation to form this alliance, to have a reason to stay near me, is a palpable thing. He watches me constantly. He watches how I command the respect of my people, how I anticipate the enemy's moves, how I care for the wounded. I can feel his dawning horror and regret solidifying into a soul-deep adoration for the woman I have become. He is not just mourning the loss of a mate. He is falling in love with his equal, and the knowledge that he is the architect of his own misery is destroying him. We have to train our warriors together, combining his disciplined formations with my clan's guerrilla tactics. One afternoon, I am demonstrating a disarming technique, moving with the fluid grace I earned through years of relentless practice. I defeat 3 of his best royal guards in quick succession. As I stand, breathing lightly, my eyes meet his across the training yard. The look on his face is one of raw, unguarded awe and agonizing loss. It is a small victory, but it tastes sweeter than any wine. He tries to speak to me, to find a moment alone. He corners me in the armory, his voice low and pleading. Alara, we need to talk. There is nothing to talk about, I say, turning away to inspect a rack of arrows. Our conversations are limited to the war effort, Your Majesty. Do not call me that, he growls, the sound vibrating with pain. Please, just listen. I have nothing to say to the man who sold me. The words are quiet, but they hit him like a physical blow. He flinches. The pain so sharp I feel a sympathetic pang in my own chest. I hate that I do. I hate that even now, after everything, a part of me aches for him. The breaking point comes a week later. I am training alone by the frozen lake at the edge of the fortress, seeking a moment of peace. The sun is setting, painting the ice in hues of orange and purple. I am moving through a sequence of blade work, the cold air a balm on my skin when I feel his presence. He stands at the tree line watching me. I finish my sequence, my chest rising and falling, and turn to face him. What do you want, Kalen? He walks toward me, his boots crunching in the snow. He stops a few feet away, his face a mask of torment. I cannot do this anymore, he whispers, his voice raw. This polite fiction, pretending we are just two rulers. I stay silent, my hand resting on the pommel of my sword. I will give him no quarter. There are no excuses for what I did, he begins, and the lack of a defensive preamble surprises me. No justification. It wasn't politics. It wasn't my father's advice. It wasn't my duty to the crown. He takes a deep, shuddering breath. It was fear. I was a coward. His confession hangs in the cold air. My heart, the stubborn traitor, gives a painful lurch. The moment I saw you, the moment I smelled you, my wolf knew. He knew you were everything, and it terrified me. He continues, his eyes boring into mine, holding me captive. You were this brilliant, impossible thing, and I was a king who only understood power and pedigrees. I did not understand a power like the one I felt in you. It felt immense, uncontrollable. So I did the only thing a coward could do. I tried to destroy it. I tried to destroy you. Tears are tracking silently down his face, freezing on his cheeks. He takes another step and another until he is standing before me. And then, the alpha of all alphas, the king of the Western Territories, sinks to his knees in the snow before me. He lowers his head, exposing the strong column of his throat, the ultimate gesture of submission, an offering. My life is yours to take, Ilara, he says, his voice thick with unshed tears. It has been yours since the moment I met you. I was a fool to throw it away. I am not asking for your forgiveness. I do not deserve it. I am not asking you to choose me. I am asking for nothing. He looks up, his blue eyes swimming with a pain that mirrors my own. I will fight this war for you. I will die for your people. And when it is over, if it is your wish, I will walk away and never trouble you again. But I had to tell you the truth. I had to let you see the pathetic man who stands behind the crown, the man who broke the most sacred thing in this world out of fear. My own eyes are burning. My wolf is howling, a cry of shared agony and desperate love. Ours. He is ours. He suffers. Forgive. My human mind is a whirlwind of confusion and hurt. This is everything I wanted. His complete and utter submission, his confession, his pain laid bare for me to see. So why does it feel like my own heart is being ripped from my chest? I stand over my kneeling, broken mate, the setting sun casting our long shadows over the ice, and I have no idea what to do. From the shelter of the trees, another figure watches. Liam? He saw the whole thing. His face is a quiet study of resignation and sorrow. He turns and walks away before I see him, the crunch of his boots a fading sound in the twilight. Later that night, he finds me in the strategy room, staring blankly at the maps. He does not speak for a long time, just stands beside me. Finally, he says, "He may have broken your heart, Ilara, but he holds it. I saw it today. He is drowning, and you are his only shore." I look at him, my throat tight. He doesn't deserve a shore. Perhaps not, Liam agrees softly, but that doesn't change the tide. He puts a hand on my shoulder, his touch warm and brotherly. I love you. You know that, which is why I am telling you this. Don't choose me because I am safe. Don't settle for a quiet harbor when your soul wants the storm. Choose him because he is yours. But for the love of the fates, Ilara, make him earn it. He squeezes my shoulder once, then turns and leaves me alone with the maps, the flickering candlelight, and the impossible choice ahead of me. His dignity, His grace in letting me go is a final, painful gift. The horns sound just before dawn, a long, mournful cry that signals an attack. The Shadow Weavers are here, not a skirmish, not a raiding party, a full-scale assault. A black tide of them swarms out of the dark woods, silent and terrifying. But this time, they move with a purpose, a coordination we have not seen before. At their head is a new figure. It is larger than the others, humanoid in shape, and cloaked in a darkness so profound it seems to swallow the gray morning light. This is their master. To the walls, I roar, my voice carrying over the rising din. Our combined forces rush to their positions, a mix of northern fur and southern steel. Kalen is beside me in an instant, his own sword drawn, his face grim. The battle for our survival has begun. The fighting is brutal. The Shadow Master directs its forces with a chilling intelligence, exploiting every weakness in our defenses. But it is not the fortress it wants. It wants me. I feel its ancient, malevolent consciousness touch mine, a probe of icy hatred. Lichen, it hisses in my mind, the voice like grinding stone, the light that burns. We have hunted your kind to extinction. You are the last ember. We will snuff you out. It cleaves a path through the battle, its shadowy form untouchable. Arrows dissolve before they reach it. Wolves who leap at it fall back, whimpering, their life force diminished. It moves directly toward my position on the main battlement. It's after me, I tell Kalen, my grip tightening on my sword. I have to face it. Not alone, he growls, his body a solid wall beside me. My wolf surges forward, demanding release. I let her go. The transformation is faster this time, a seamless flow of power. I am the silver wolf, my lichen form radiating a soft, pure light that makes the nearby shadows recoil. The Shadow Master halts, its featureless face tilting as it regards me. There you are, it sneers in my mind. It lunges. We meet in a clash of pure light and absolute darkness. It is stronger than any creature I have ever faced. Its claws are not physical. They are tendrils of unlife that seek to drain my very essence. My light burns it, but its darkness smothers me. We are locked in a desperate battle, a whirlwind of silver and black at the center of the raging war. It is too strong. It anticipates my every move, its ancient mind far more experienced in this cosmic struggle. With a final, powerful blow, it slams me to the ground, pinning my massive form under its weight. Its shadowy tendrils sink into me, and the draining begins. It is an agony beyond description. My light begins to flicker, my strength ebbing away. My lichen form wavers, the silver fur dimming. I am dying. Through the haze of pain, I see Kalen. His face is a mask of pure terror and rage. He screams my name. He sees me fading, sees the monster killing his mate, and he does not hesitate. With a roar that is all wolf, all alpha, all mate, he throws himself between me and the Shadow Master. He shoves his body directly into the path of the draining tendrils. He takes the full force of the attack meant for me. The Shadow Master hisses, surprised. Kalen cries out, his body convulsing. I watch in horror as the life is pulled from him. His skin turns gray and brittle, his hair loses its color, his vibrant life force dimming like a snuffed candle. He is aging 1,000 years in a second. But he does not move. He holds his ground, his eyes locked on mine, his body a shield. His wolf and his human mind are finally perfectly aligned in a single purpose. Protect. Mate. He is sacrificing himself. For me. Seeing him die, seeing him choose me over his own life without a second's thought, shatters the last of my defenses. The anger, the hurt, the pride, it all burns away in the face of this ultimate act of love. It is not about forgiveness anymore. It is about not losing him again. My human mind and my lichen wolf, so often at odds, finally speak with one voice. A voice of absolute certainty. Ours. Save him. With the last of my fading strength, I reach out my human hand, my form flickering between woman and wolf, and grab his. His skin is cold, like stone. No, I whisper, my voice breaking. You don't get to die for me. Not now. I look into his fading eyes, and I make my choice. From a position of power, from a place of love, not desperation. I, Ilara of the North, I declare, my voice ringing with newfound power, a power born of acceptance. I accept this bond. I claim you, Kaelin of the West, as my mate, now and forever. The moment the words leave my lips, the universe shifts. The shattered pieces of the bond inside me do not just mend, they detonate. A blinding explosion of pure energy, silver and gold entwined, erupts from our joined hands. It is the power of my lichen life force, my ancient light, pouring into him, guided by the reforged incandescent bond. The Shadow Master screeches and is thrown back, its darkness unable to withstand the raw, sacred power of a completed mating. The light flows into Kaelin, reversing the draining. Color floods back into his skin, his body regaining its strength, its vitality. But he is not just healed. He is changed. The silver light of my lichen essence weaves into his own golden alpha aura, merging with it. When he opens his eyes, they are no longer just ice blue. They are blue flecked with silver, burning with a power that is both his and mine. His wolf, amplified by my own, rises to meet him, no longer his tormentor, but his partner. We are one. We rise together, a king and queen reborn. The Shadow Master hesitates, its ancient malevolence now tinged with something new. Fear. It senses that it is no longer facing two separate beings, but a single, unified force of nature. Together, Kaelin says, his voice a low growl that harmonizes with my own. Together, I agree. We move as one. His royal alpha strength, the power of command and dominion, is now fused with my ancient lichen light, the power of creation and purity. He is the blade, and I am the fire that forges it. We are a symphony of destruction. He engages the creature, his newfound strength holding it in place, while I gather my light, a miniature sun in my hands. I unleash it, and he channels it through his own power, focusing it into a lance of unbearable brightness. The beam strikes the Shadow Master. It does not just burn or dissolve. It is unmade, its very existence erased from the fabric of reality by the combined might of our bond. As it vanishes, a psychic shockwave ripples through its army, and the remaining shadow weavers disintegrate into harmless black dust. Silence falls over the battlefield. The sun breaks through the clouds. The war is over. In the aftermath, a new world order is born. I do not abdicate my throne, and he does not abdicate his. We are two sovereign rulers, bound by a power greater than any crown. He is king of the West, and I am queen of the North. But his kingdom is now mine, and my kingdom is now his. He becomes my prince consort when in my lands, and I am his ruling queen when in his. We are not a king and his Luna. We are equals, partners, our strengths and weaknesses balancing each other perfectly. The power dynamic, once so cruelly skewed, is now a perfect, harmonious circle. Months later, we stand on the high balcony of his royal palace in the south, the one I only ever saw as a servant. The kingdom is at peace. The northern and southern territories united under our joint rule. The scars remain. I sometimes touch the faint white lines on my wrists, a ghostly memory of the iron chains. He sees me do it, and the old pain flickers in his eyes. He gently takes my hand, his thumb tracing the scars, not with guilt, but with reverence. A reminder of the strength of the woman he almost lost. He is a different man. The arrogance is gone, replaced by a quiet, unshakable devotion. The fear has been burned away, leaving only a deep, abiding love. I am different, too. The cold anger has thawed, leaving a fierce, protective warmth in its place. I am no longer just a survivor. I am whole. He leans in, his familiar scent of pine and winter frost wrapping around me like a cloak. It mingles with my own scent of wild herbs and ozone, creating something new, something uniquely ours. Mine, he whispers against my hair. The word, which once would have been a brand of ownership, is now a vow of devotion. I turn my head, my lips brushing his. Yours, I reply, the word, a promise, an anchor, the final healing note in our song. We kiss, and it is not the fire of battle or the desperation of loss. It is the steady, enduring warmth of a hearth fire on a cold winter's night. We are scarred, yes. We are marked by the pain of our journey, but we are healed, and we are home.